We have about 5 minutes. So let's talk about pushing mid. I only really have time for like one. Okay, let me explain another concept, which is like flank versus combo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the combo consists of the medic, the demo, the pocket scout, and the pocket soldier. The pocket soldier isn't like really connected to the combo. He's just more around the combo than the other soldier is, the roamer.
Mm-hmm.
So the flank is consists of the flank scout and the roamer, also known as the flank soldier, but everyone calls him roamer. So roughly speaking, everywhere that the combo goes, the flank doesn't go there. Okay, so how much time do you have? I'll try to
Probably
manage it.
till 11.
Till 11? So like 15 minutes or
20 minutes.
Yeah, 15-ish minutes. Yeah, 15.
Okay, let's just start. All right, so this is spawn, right? Are you
Hold
on
on.
my
Let me-
I'm streaming.
Yep.
You can also just get on the cam in game.
Well, I closed you too.
You left? Okay. You see it though? You see the stream?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So this is spawn. All right.
Yeah.
Very obvious. Left door, right door, very clear. This is the last point. All of this up until this doorway, and this doorway, this is all last. And you can be very general about the locations here. You could just say like, okay, they're coming in left, they're coming in right. And
Yeah,
like
that's what I was doing.
Just that's you can do that for like every map and people will understand what you're trying to say. And then you can like point out objects. Like you could say like barrels, like toxic barrels, and like I don't know, tiles or something like that. And then this is like I don't know, this is just top left, right? And this is like catwalk. Catwalk is a very common call out you'll hear.
Okay.
So let's walk through the door. Wow, we're now in lobby. Lobby is also a very common call out, and you'll see that everywhere as well on other maps. Like there's always a lobby, there's always a house. Yeah. So this is called shutter because it's the only shutter in the game. It's just like in the map. So you hear shutter. This is the only shutter people could be talking about. Either this one or the one on the red side. Right. So this whole area is lobby. You could call this like upper lobby. People call this like top left if you're looking this way, if you're defending. If you're attacking, you can call it top right. If you're like coming into lobby, you look top right.
Yeah.
This area, you come down here, this is lower. This door is lower. This, like, yeah, so when you hear like this general area, this is all just lower. And including this door too. And coming out another door, right? So we already talked about this is shutter. And you can also call this main if you want. This is bats. So it's short for battlements. This is where your team will be holding on Uber Disad. If you don't know what Uber Disad is, I can explain it later.
Yeah.
So let's go through another door. So this is lower. Now this, as soon as you touch this concrete here, this is called dungeon. This is also dungeon. If you're like holding last, you could just say this is dungeon and people will look here. But yeah, all of this area is dungeon, all the way up, coming up to this ramp. This is all still dungeon, all this. So if you like, they had a scout like run under maybe, and you're like trying to call like, okay, there's a scout behind us going dungeon. That's what people are talking about.
Okay. I was saying like trench and stuff like that. So I don't know if you guys. Say it.
Okay.
I normally like call it like stuff like that, like trench. I don't know if there's any other kind of things that would be called that, but yeah.
There's a trench on like some maps, but not this map. This is everyone calls this dungeon. If you say trench, people will be confused.
Yeah.
This area coming out of lower, I generally just call this like grass. It's like not a very strict call out. You could just say like shutter or like below bats or something like that. Like, because this also is sort of grass area. It's like it kind of depends on the context of like where the fight is happening. Either it's this grass or this grass. That's a useful call out.
I thought the area with by the hose had some name. I don't remember what
What
it was
hose?
called. The one by the shutter.
Oh, this people call this bush.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have like a sneaky scout or soldier like just hide in this bush, and if you're like, imagine you're pushing out of last, you're like watching for bombers and you're like clearing the sky. You're like not really looking over here, so it's kind of a decent hiding spot. The only times you'll really get spotted if they're not explicitly checking that is if they're coming out of bats. They're looking at you this way. So this is like bush. Yeah. This is like spiral, or you could call it stairs. It's all the same thing. It's useful for like if a demo man sets a sticky trap, right? They can like set one here, and if you're like walking up, suddenly you die if that's not spotted. So you'll have like a scout that comes out bats, and they'll like call it. They'll say, trap spiral, or like trap stairs, or above the stairs. Then that's like what they're talking about. So let's talk about the point. This is the second point. It's a lighthouse. Cute. This area, when you get to the top of stairs, people call this multiple things. People call it plat, short for platform. They call it side spire. That's like one term I like to use. But yeah, very common. This is where you're going to be holding when the teams are even on Ubers, right? And then also important call out is this white ramp. You could call it white ramp. You could call it ramp. This is like what they're talking about. And you can say like under ramp if like someone's hiding. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much this whole second area.
Forward
let's
spawn.
yeah, and this is like where you spawn forwards if you're controlling mid. And also if you're like attacking, right? Let's say like you captured mid and you're attacking. Sometimes if they had forward spawns, this is like the spot where they'll have a sniper either like watching this angle or this angle or that angle. This is where they'll have a sniper. Sometimes they hide so you won't see them. So it's like if they had the forward spawn at some point, so let's say they were controlling mid and you took it from them, and you killed people while you're like pushing this, sometimes they'll have people hiding here. It's not something to be
a call out for that area that you were in? Like this whole area, is there a call out for that?
Yes, I'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say this is second point, right? This like whole, anytime someone, by the way, like from like here, right, and just like this whole outside area, if someone says like there's a soldier behind us on second, they're just pretty much talking about this rough area. And you can say that about every point. You can say that about mid and last, if you don't really know where they are. So okay, so yes, about this area. Moving forward through the right side from second, this whole area is called cafe because they have cafe chairs. So crossing, you could say even including up to this platform, all the way to like this platform, this is all cafe. Yeah, it's just cafe. It's like a flank route to hold, and sometimes you can push through here if you see they're being passive. Yeah, I won't linger on it. This is cafe. You can hide here if you're trying to be sneaky. This place isn't as good of a spot to hide because usually people are walking out this way and they can see you. But they usually, like, it's the same bush scenario. They don't really check this corner here. Okay, so moving forward through another way. This is choke. This is where soldiers are going to bomb you from. So you don't want to stand too close.
So basically at any really point where there's going to be a lot. Excuse me, sorry. just at any point where is this really kind of narrow? Would that be considered choke?
Yes and no. They are all choke points. However, when you say choke, people are usually talking about like the main route. So like you could also call this main. No one really calls it main, so that's why it's just called choke. Some people like yeah.
I feel like main can be confused for valley sometimes.
Main for valley?
I don't
But
know.
that's not main. I've never heard this called main.
I don't know.
But just stick to calling it choke, and
It's like a funnel. It's more of a choke, I'd say.
Well, yeah, there's nowhere to move if you're in here for very long.
yeah,
you
exactly.
die.
Exactly. It's like you can't
It's
stand
literally
here.
a choke point.
Right.
That's-
So just like this is just choke. Just think about it this way. If you hear the call out flowers, this is what they're talking about. And what this call out is good for is if you can set a sticky trap in here, and you can't really see it, right? But if you're standing like right next to it, you'll die if they explode it. So that if you hear that, that's what they're talking about. So where else can you go from second? You can go to valley. Crossing this line, going into here, all this grassy stuff, and that, and this, and this is all like valley area. So like from that line to like this line, this is all valley. Okay. You could call this. People call this Harry Potter because you can also hide here sometimes. Don't just I don't know. Not very common. So let's go to mid now. Mid, you have this is where like most people roll out. You have shed. Right? This is like where scouts like to jump back and forth. You can stand up here as demo to get a little like a better angle to like spam your stickies. This is just shed. And remember, this is like cafe. This is just called roof. Now, you might ask, why is that not roof and why is that not roof? Well, those have other callouts. So this is roof, and you could say like our roof or their roof or like red or blue roof, whatever you need to like disambiguify it. You can use that. On top of this is called bell because it's a bell tower. Got the big old yeet bell. So standing up here, this is where soldiers like to bomb and like hold temporarily. It's very easy to spam them off, but yeah, this is bell. This is what people are talking about. You can also say under point, right? This is just the point, obviously. Both this and that, these are called Tetris.
Tetris?
Now, this one is a little more confusing because it's like a lot of the time when you're playing these mids, you're gonna like play left. So this can seem like your Tetris, but it's actually their Tetris. Okay. Because you remember, like I'm on blue team right now, so red is like enemy Tetris. And that's the whole map because from here it's just mirrored. Sometimes you could say like rock, because sometimes like a scout or a soldier, I think you can even parkour up here as sniper. And you can stay here and like, I don't know, just hard scope like cafe or choke. And, you know, this is rock. If you ever hear rock, that's rock.
You also have the forward spawns too.
Right, and you have the forward spawns. You have the red one right here. And then you have the blue one over here. Any questions about callouts?
I think that's pretty much it for me.
No? Okay.
All right.
We have...
How do you play a video game? For those in the
All
back.
Right. You started?
It's not here. Yep.
All right, cool. So, did this just rotate? All right. So we went over callouts already. So let's just talk about like. Let's start with the mid. So you have the rollout. I guess I'll show the rollouts real quick. Oh, it just auto spawns me. That's crazy. So medic, the demo's gonna spawn, right? the demo is going to get healed up to 260. He does one single sticky jump while still getting healed. He gets healed up again to like 260 again. And then when you move, stick, surf that ramp, and then... Actually, I don't think you're supposed to put it down there. I think you're supposed to put it on the wall. But regardless, you come to mid. You load up a sticky, shoot it at their choke somewhere, and usually wait here for a bow from the medic. Right? And then here's where, depending on where their team goes, you can say left or right, or you can just commit and say, okay, we're pushing left, we're going to take it fast. You know, and then like force them into an awkward crawl to the right side. Alternatively, you can also roll out through what's this called? Valley here. And that's, I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the same. You just, from here, you just go jump, and then you collect this, and then you can jump again if you want, and then stick, or you can just walk out. Usually you have time to just walk out. But, you know, if you do this too many times, if you're just like walking out, their soldier can like go quick through cafe and like bomb you, and then you're alone. So wherever the demo goes, that's where the team goes. So if your demo rolls out Valley, that your medic and your scout will go Valley, and including your pocket soldier too. And your flank goes choke. So the medic rollout is very simple. Like I said, you just follow the medic. Scout is also the same thing. Or sorry, medic follows the demo. Scout follows the demo as well. So the next rollout is just the pocket soldier. You just like shoot yourself out of spawn while you can't move. 4 rockets, pull out your pickaxe, run. You can go choke and wait for an arrow here. Call medic so he can see you, and then wait for him to bow. The reason why you roll out with your pickaxe after 4 rockets is because of something called crit heals. Crit heals is a game mechanic where if you haven't taken any damage, and that includes self damage, that includes fall damage, literally all types of damage. If you don't take any type of damage for, I think it's 10 seconds, your healing rate that you accept from your medic will be 3 times the normal rate. So what that means is that, you know, you do your 4 rocket rollout, and now you're just running with your pickaxe out. You're not taking any damage. And 10 seconds passes by the time you get here. So then you get your bow, and then you can get crit healed up to 300 very quickly. And then you can, you know, walk through choke and like jump wherever you want, wherever you need to be. But that's very important detail of a pocket soldier rollout, is that you don't take any damage whatsoever. I was saying you're going to be about this low. You're going to be like around 90 to 80 health. So you walk out from bats. You can wait and choke, or if you're going Valley, you can b-hop up this. You can b-hop up this crate, and you can be pretty quick into Valley, and you'll wait here for an arrow from your medic, who will be like right there. And then same thing, you just wait for 300, bomb through wherever you need to be. Actually, bombing off of this is probably best. Just, yeah, you could go anywhere from here. You can go left, you can go right. Wherever your demo goes. But usually if you're going Valley, you're going left. So the Roma rollout. Now this one is different from the pocket soldier because you're not going to be pulling out your pickaxe. What you're actually going to be doing is that while the demo is doing his jumps, right, and the pocket soldier is doing his jumps, Your 2 scouts and your medic and you are gonna be still just, you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be locked in place. After the medic is done healing the demo,
Mic off.
the medic is now going to heal the roamer up to 300. When the roamer has 300, he will come this way. He does 2 rocket jumps. Here, this is like a little trick to guarantee this ramp slide, is you can, while midair, you're crouched every time you're rocket jumping, but as soon as like you reach about this point in your jump, you uncrouch. So that like, you pretty much unbend your legs, and then you can surf up this ramp easier. So come over here. Now, again, this is like there's a few different options from here. The default one that you should do is just here, and then like 3 rocket. You can, that third rocket is optional. You can also, you can also just jump through, and then like, if you're fast enough, you can like surf up this ramp real quick. And then like your demo calls aside, and then you're like, okay, we're going right because the demo called right. I'm gonna go over here. So that's one rollout. That's like the default one that you should do 99% of the time. But if you're goated with the sauce, and you hit this ramp slide really well, right? And then you like land all the way here. What you can do is you can actually roll out all the way to their cafe like this, and if you're fast enough, no one will see you. The only way they might know you're here, if you do this perfectly, is if their roamer is here just as fast and they spot you, or if they hear you. And then the scouts are, again, very simple. The pocket scout runs with the medic wherever they go. What just happened? And the flank scout, actually, yeah, the flank scout just goes with the combo as well to get heals. So if you go choke, you come choke. The pocket scout like usually jumps up here. You can have both scouts jump up here, but it's usually better to spread your people out so you don't catch the same spam. So like flank scout can like chill here if you're like playing right, and if you're like pushing farther right, you come to Tetris, etc. It just evolves pretty naturally, but those are the rollouts. So now that we're rolled out to mid, what do we do? Because the other team is right over there and they're looking very scary because they're trying to hurt you. On Sunshine, let's just focus on the very basics. You can play either left mid or you can play right mid. The very simple way is to just play right mid, because this is your side of the map. You know, you're on red team. This is the red
Mic
Tetris.
on.
You can walk over
Mic
here.
off.
Now, what the medic is going to do is he's just going to like chill back here generally behind the team. Like I said, your pocket scout is going to be here. Your demo is going to be here, like exchanging stickies with their demo. Assuming, let's just, for the sake of this, the blue team is mirroring us. So we're shooting the other demo, dodging his stickies, trying to avoid their stickies, etc. So that's the demo. You walk this way. You never really want to walk in front of Tetris if you're trying to like rotate into them. You always want to go behind Tetris. And if you're a medic, always heal a scout as you're like trying to get to here. So then you can get here as fast as possible. Your scouts are going to be like taking the high ground, hopefully. This is good. This is good. And it's all just here to deny soldier bombs, right? This is why it's always important to have your pocket scout with your medic. It's pretty much just to protect your medic. Soldiers, you have a couple options, right? Like I said, when you like jump through, always try to land on some type of high ground. So your roof is an excellent choice. Sometimes their roamer will try to land on your roof and get some early spam. So it's good to like counter jump him and contest him here and try to get him off and like get your team's attention towards it. And yeah, so you're gonna have at least one soldier here. You can have another soldier here. Your roamer can jump up onto Bell, but usually you don't want to be the first soldier up here because you're a very easy target. You're in the like, you're literally on a pedestal for the whole enemy team to shoot you up here. So let's say like I'm the red roamer, right? And I like jump up here. You can kind of play around this a little bit, but what you're gonna experience is that the demo man can like perfectly lob stickies right at you, and you're not gonna be up there for very long. So it's like it's a powerful position, but it's also like a transitionary position almost, where you're not gonna be fighting the whole mid here. So ideally, your roamer, whenever you see their roamer jump up, let's say I'm the blue roamer right here. Pow, I jumped here. As the red roamer, if you're like chilling over here, just like if your team is over there, you're on the flank, you're like trying to just not get wrapped. You can also like be up here, just generally spamming. But I gotta say, if you're this disconnected, just always be ready to like jump away and rejoin your team. Man, I'm like all over the place. Okay, so let's say the blue roamer jumps the bell. You're just gonna counter jump him and like try to hit him with as many rockets as possible to get him off and hopefully kill him. That's all I was saying about this bell position. Yeah. So depending on how that mid goes, if you at this level, I think the very best option you can do for both of your soldiers, this is like the simplest and most basic play you can do, is like, let's say you get to mid, your whole team gets to mid, your demo calls aside, I'll go left, right, and then like 10 seconds in, let's say you go left, you're like spamming them out, they're rotating towards your cafe, you're here. 10 seconds in, roughly, people are going to start taking a lot of damage. And what you're looking to, you're trying to look out for a call from your teammates, mostly your demo, is any significant damage on top of their medic or their demo, right? So the mid is just pretty much, if you're doing nothing, then you're spamming their med and demo. But if they have players running at you, like, you know, a scout is like trying to be sneaky, playing up here, and he like tries to shoot your team, then yeah, kill the scout. He's the furthest one forward. He's the easiest kill to get. That's who you're shooting at. So if let's say nothing crazy is happening though, what you're doing is you're shooting the medic, and as soon as you hear, let's say like medic hit like 70 or 80, you can even do less than that. 60 or 50 damage on the medic is good enough for both of your soldiers to just bomb across. So I guess let me just get on soldier. And what you're doing is you're like landing on top of their combo as closely as you can. So let's just roll out. Oh, missed the ramp slide. That's crazy. So let's say your team is like over here on the left. You can like bomb straight across and like land on their combo, or like try to land on some high ground and try to shoot them. Or you can just land on top of them. That works fine too. What are some other bombs? You can like take the long way. You can like land over here and like be a little bit of a distraction. Use this wall as cover. If you're already all the way over here, which would be like more likely for the pocket soldier to do, you like use this wall. If you're pushing, if your team is on the right side, you can like jump from here and then like jump from the bell again instantly. You can jump using this wall. It's very important to like improvise and just like play around on these maps. And yeah, if you see a wall, you can shoot it. So that's how you bomb, essentially. But when you're bombing, let's say we're back over here pushing from the left side, and we're shooting them by our cafe. As soon as the soldiers bomb, what your combo is going to do is they're going to walk across point here, and they're going to try to shoot players that are like, you know, contesting this, because they're not just going to let you walk up. So you're using your soldiers as a distraction. You're making sure their soldiers don't land on top of your medic, and that's the scout's duty. You're like, both of the scouts are pretty much air defense. Yeah. And then you're walking forward on top of them. And then hopefully what works out is that your medic survives, you kill their medic, and then since they don't have any heals, you win the mid because they all just die eventually. Okay. So let's say you win the mid. I'm just gonna go over basic positioning from here on. Let's say you win the mid. If you win the mid and you kill all of their players, then you get second for free because of respawn timers. They're usually like 15 seconds. That's more than enough time. First of all, I forgot to mention, if you just like completely wipe them, you just leave your flank scout to cap the point, and then you have your 5 people go forward. And then like the same thing if you like had like 1 or 2 people die. You can usually just get away with walking forward and leaving 1 to cap. Now let's say that's one way to push, if you just completely destroy them and then you get second for free and then you're pushing last. Now let's say there's like this, for example, this is like an invite game, and you just bully them out. You know, no players die on any team. Now you have to push second, right? It's not just given to you for free. So on an even Uber situation, as you're pushing second, your combo is going to be in this area. So you have your flank scout, like just kind of honestly just chilling here, making sure no one like, you know, does anything crazy. Your demo is going to be spamming stickies through this choke and trying to hit their medic and demo. Or, you know, if there's a flank scout that's like, they like run over from Valley and like peek here, you just shoot the people in the choke. So demo is responsible for choke. Scout is just responsible for choke as well. Your pocket soldier is going to be watching cafe. It's important that you're not very committed to cafe, because they can just like jump on you with 2 or 3 people very quickly. They can like, yeah, pretty much literally jump you if you're like caught too far forward and then you die, and then now your team is at a player disadvantage. So pocket soldier there, demo here, scout here. Your roamer and flank scout are going to be in charge of watching Valley. Your flank scout is going to be like chilling here, and but I guess both players can just be here. Your soldier can be like down here spamming rockets. And this is just the default hold. And I guess did I mention medic? Medic is just like here, just so you can see clearly through the choke. Okay. So you're going to be using that positioning to send a sack and hopefully get an Uber force on them or to even kill the medic. Okay, let's say you killed the medic, you killed them all even, and now you're pushing second. Now the enemy team is defending last, right? They're going to be building an NG gun. They're going to be having a sniper or a heavy. What do? Let's say it's even holds again, right? Your combo again is up here while you're passively, like, let's say you don't have Uber yet. You're just building up Uber. Your flanks, your pocket scout is going to be here, just jumping up here, kind of spotting dungeon, watching this area. Just generally making sure no shenanigans are happening and no soldiers are bombing your medic. Your demo is also going to be here, can sticky off the shutter there. And your flank is going to be on lower over here. Your roamer is going to be like spamming here because they're going to be peeking the left, spamming dungeon. And your flank scout is going to be here supporting him. So, okay. Now we're trying to push last. What do? The next step is to send a sack onto last, right? Because you're trying to get them to use Uber. You're trying to get an advantage for yourself. You send your combo through lower. You can also send them through shutter. But the dangerous thing about shutter is that you can have a sticky trap here. The enemy team can have a sticky trap here. And if you just kind of run through it, the demo can be like spotting it very loosely. And you can just like spot, you know, the shutter there, and he can see it open, and when he sees people come in, he can dead on you. So you can get your medic dropped that way. So you don't really want to go through here unless you're sure that there's no traps and there's no people hiding in lobby here. The way you do that is you send a scout and you can just like, you know, clear the traps here, and you can say, okay, come in through shutter or whatever. The other way is if you're like trying to go really fast and you don't really have time to like clear dungeon or sorry, clear lobby before you go. This would be in a situation where you win mid, you wipe them all, your flank scout cap this, you stack cap this, and now you have Uber ad. So you're trying to get onto last before they get Uber. This is when you come lower. Let me get on scout. You come lower and you start getting info. So if they're just like, they forgot that they have Uber disad and they're just like holding this choke really close, you can just Uber onto them immediately and pretty much try to get as many kills as possible. And then you take this high ground positioning for the after Uber, and now you're winning. But let's say it's evens. You just took lobby. You either took it slow or fast through here. Now you're going to be spotting for players. You're going to check for off classes. You're looking if they have a sniper holding this angle, which is very common. So if that's the case, then you don't want your demo or medic peeking this at all. Like, this is as far as you're going to go. You don't want to be looking at them. If they have a sniper. They can have an NG. If they have an NG, they're going to build a gun here. Or they can move it up closer to like here. You can have the gun here. You just need to spot it. They also put a gun here sometimes if they're like feeling funny. So yeah, so then you send in your soldier sack. And let's say you got the sack, right? Your soldier dies, but you force their Uber, and they still have all 6 players up, and now you have Uber ad. Uber ad is the same thing as pushing from middle, right? You're you're spotting where they're playing, and chances are at this point they're smart enough to know that they're about to get Ubered on. Their medic is going to be playing in Shutter here with their demo. Their soldiers are going to be out and about. They're going to have a soldier here most likely. They're going to have a soldier here on top of this. And then their flank scout is also going to be like roughly in this area. So depending on if they have a sniper, and if they're like just too far back, you can kind of walk in here and milk your Uber. And then as soon as a soldier bombs you, inevitably, you're going to just use a cross and try to kill as many people that are outside of spawn. Because as soon as your Uber is over, if they're smart, they're going to have a heavy walk out of spawn with 450 health, and they're going to fight this left side. So, yeah, pretty much. And then just the fight goes from there. Hopefully you win. So, again, combo pushes right side. Flank goes left, and dungeon. The roamer can go dungeon, because then you have this nice bomb out and you can land on top of this soldier. Yeah, this is just standard Ubers. You can also push left, like I said, and then your roamer is going to be going right side, also landing on this. Or, you know, if they're not looking at him, he can go deep. So that's how you win, right? But let's say you're losing. Dreadful. When you're losing, it's very important to know what the Uber situation is like. Now, for all these scenarios, I'm just going to assume that you have Uber disad of like 30% or more. So if you have like 25% disad, there's a very good chance in amateur that they're not going to be fast enough to take advantage of it. So that's why I say like 30%. But let's say, scratch that. Let's just call it like 20%, right? 20% disad or more. This is the position you're going to be playing. So let's say you captured mid. Let's just say you have mid and you're holding it with disad. So they're coming in through these chokes. What you're going to do is you're going to hold with your medic healing here. You're going to have your roamer playing on top of the roof. Your demo is also going to be here setting traps for them to come in. And your flank scout is also going to be relatively close by so he doesn't get caught out like here. As soon as they come in, your roamer is going to bomb the medic. And the rest of the team is just going to back out of cafe here. And all you're doing here is you're keeping your medic alive and you're buying time for you to get Uber. So it's very, very important that every time you're on disad, you don't die. It sounds so simple, but it's usually people get caught out. Let's just put it that way. So just remember, the roamer is the only one that's dying for the sacrifice. And that's like if they don't just pop through, which they shouldn't be. If they use, though, the roamer doesn't even have to die. He can just kind of reposition and fall back. So combo here, flank scout there, roamer there. And you can even have like your pocket soldier up here on Bell, spamming this choke or valley, wherever they come in. And as soon as they use, just rocket jump away, get out through choke. Okay, that's disad mid. Now, I know this is kind of confusing. Let me go back to there. Second. Let's say you're holding this ad on second. So you captured mid, you captured their second, but oh no, they have Uber, or that we have like 3 players down and we want to save our Uber for when our players come back. The best place to play. Okay, so the traditional place to play is cafe. So your medic is like here, your demo is here, your flank scout, or sorry, your pocket scout is here, and your roamer is going to be like, you know, playing here, bombing, and landing on top of their medic as they come in to like try to get the force off. Or, you know, the pocket soldier if your roamer is dead. So you get the force, you leave, you get them to Uber, your medic runs out this way with scout speed, and then you just run to safety and hold choke here. And hopefully they don't chase you and your spawners are up again. So then you don't have to give up mid again, but some scenarios you might have to. So, right, combo here, flank scout, like Valley, kind of spotting lower. He can spot here, fall back here, and then just like leave as soon as they come in to try to preserve their life. And your roamer goes in. Okay, so that's disad second, disad middle. Let's say they're controlling middle, and they have Uber and you don't. This is how you hold disad second. So your flanks, your combo is all going to be on the bats here. So your medic is going to be holding inside of this door frame. I say inside because if you're outside, you can have a soldier like bomb from Valley, land on top of you, juggle you up, you hit your head on this door frame, and now you're dead. But if you're at least halfway through this door, any rockets that hit you, you're just gonna get like surfed back, and then you have a much higher chance of surviving while your pocket scout like kills him. So yeah, you have your combo here, your flank, your like flank scout is going to be like in this lower area, and you're just going to be spotting because chances are if they have Uber, they're going to be walking it this way through Valley. So yeah, you're just trying to leave. You send your roamer to sack. He can be wherever. Roamer can even play with the combo here just to get 300 health, and then you know, rocket jump off of the lighthouse, and then land on top of them. Okay, so that's disad. Did I miss any disad positioning? So let's like try holding last with disad, right? Hopefully, this will come up if you like. We talked about how it works if you roll them on mid, but if you get rolled on mid and all your players die, ideally you're gonna have an NG. He's gonna build a sentry, get it to level 2 at least, level 3 if possible, if they're like really that slow. And the NG is just gonna sit here, watch his sentry. You don't want to be out here trying to heal it and save it, because it's kind of it's like a lost cause if they have an Uber. So you're just gonna be watching this. As soon as I can get on NG even. As soon as your gun dies, what you can do is you can get on heavy, and you can get your medic to run out and heal you to 450, and you can just start playing this area to shoot the point to defend it. You can go there or you can go here. They're both like fine. Your medic on this ad, you're going to be playing in this area, You're going to be healing up your soldiers who are going to be out here. Heal up your, you're just going to be building with your pocket scout, hopefully. So that you're just going to be sitting here. Don't like be caught out here. And try to hold the left side because you just got better positioning for spam because that's like where they're likely to come in. And more importantly, this is kind of like a kiting thing. If you make them Uber through this door, they're gonna come this way, and then this is gonna be like half the Uber, and then you can like rotate to the right side, right? And then they're gonna waste their other half of the Uber walking this way. So now they don't have Uber, so now you can like try fighting them. But as opposed to compare that to like if you're just holding right, they Uber onto you, and now you have to like walk out this way, and it just ends up being not as good. Man, I don't even. How do I explain that? It just ends up being not as good, generally speaking. For the after Uber. So yeah, demo here, scout, NG, whatever. Heal them up. Your soldiers always stay out of the spawn whenever you're holding last. And that's because you need someone to distract, right? So you're gonna have your like your roamer's gonna be on top of that crate and those barrels. Your pocket soldier's gonna be here. And since they're Ubered, you don't want to stay here. Ideally, you're like trying to like jump around and like waste as much of their time and ammo as possible jumping around. So yeah, this is like a very hard position to hold, disad last. But if you play it right, you give the enemy team a chance to misplay it, and then you can hold.
Yes.
Reasons to off class. Excellent question. Every time you're on last, you're going to be off classing. If you have time, build an NG gun. So it's like, this is like one of those situations, like, for example, you got wiped on mid, now you're holding last. And let's say even your medic lived. So like your whole team got wiped, except your medic survives and runs to last. Now it's like relatively even. It's slight disad, but you have a lot of time to build a sentry gun. You can even build like a dispenser or something like that. And you could even do this when it's like you just get organically pushed out of second, right? You just like lose too many players. It's even Ubers, but you want to save your Uber. So you just like retreat and save it for last. So, and then you just play the timer, the round timer. So here is like, you get your NG, build gun here. After you get it to level 3, always just a little tip for NG. Whenever you build a gun, always just like build it right outside of the spawn door right here. Build it up, whatever. Get it to whatever level you need. And then after it's up, then you can like reposition it. You can reposition it a little closer here. You can put it here. I know this is a dispenser, but imagine it's a gun. You can build it here, or you can build it like there. And then that's like your biggest off class. If they have a sniper, for example, let's say you have this set up already, right? And they sack a soldier, he dies, and now they have a sniper. One hold you can do is to put your sentry exactly here. Or actually, I think it's here. So the gun watches this door, and then it watches any bombers from dungeon, and it also kind of watches this door. And then you put your dispenser there on the health for your medic to hide in. Now what you do here is you get your roamer like playing this area, obviously. Your pocket soldier is going to be on top of the catwalk. And your demo is going to be like spamming this, defending this, while the medic is trying to help, like, you know, heal him up, etc. here. Now that's if they have a sniper. You don't want to do this hold if they don't have a sniper, because then you're just putting yourself closer to danger, and they can like spam your gun out if they coordinate spam, stuff like that. If you don't have enough time for a gun, you come up heavy. Now, usually it's a good idea to not be like too far forward as heavy immediately if you have like Uber disad, because then they're just going to use your Uber to kill you, and it's not really worth it to die for that. Yeah, you can also play a sniper and choke here in this forward spawn. It's not even a forward spawn. You just have a passive sniper here, get a shot off before they Uber, hopefully, and then you know, get back on scout or heavy and then defend last that way. Another reason to off class is if you are the attacking team and you're trying to break a last hold, for example. So like, again, the counter example of them having a sniper is you having a sniper. So let's say you sent a soldier in, didn't really get anything. And let's say it's like a really tough team to play against. Like you're very evenly skilled, or they might be better than you. And you're like, okay, they have a really solid defense. We need to change up our strategy. So what you can do is you can send your soldier in, he dies. And then what you can do is you can come up an off class. You can come up sniper, you can come up spy. I've seen people stay on soldier, but then equip like a banner, right? So they build like a buff banner or battalions backup. And they just like do damage, build that out, and now you have like a mini Uber on top of your regular Uber to break their last. So that's like more or less off-classing. You can off-class in forward spawn as well. Like I said, I think talking to... who was I talking to? I was talking to someone. You can have, let's say you're holding mid, but you die, and then your team like either dies or retreats to second. If you catch the respawn before they catch, before they cap mid, they can get a forward spawn like sniper or heavy, and just sit there and like pretty much have some extra firepower to force the enemy team to come in, or like maybe drop the medic even.
We love sniping in forwards.
And that's also why it's important that, like, let's say they were attacking you on second, their attack catastrophically failed, you won the fight, and now you're pushing like mid, right? And now they have 2 people up, it's just the medic and the scout, and they have 4 respawners. It's very important to stack this cap point with as many people as you can, so you can cap it as fast as possible, and then deny their forward spawn respawners, right? Because if they, let's say you like win this fight, right? You get to mid, and now you're just like, you only have like 1 scout capping it, or, you know, like you're just like not really, even if actually, sometimes you're just not fast enough on the stack cap anyway. So they get their respawners in the forward spawn, and now they're just kind of comfortably holding second, right? Whereas before, if they didn't get this forward spawn, their players would be further back on the point. They would be coming out shutter, they'd be coming out bats, and now all of a sudden, you have a very good chance at contesting second. But you can like come cafe. What usually I recommend is like you come choke, then to cafe, and then you can just like work this space, have a spam battle with their team. protect against like soldier bombers, etc. The usual stuff. Let's say they just kind of bully you out. A common scenario for this is like you lose 2 players fighting the mid, and you don't have any compensation for it, right? So like their medic isn't significantly hurt, their demo isn't significantly hurt, no one on their team is really close to dying. So the best thing you can do is just kind of retreat, let them have mid, and now you defend second. Defending second is you hold side spire here, or plat, whatever you want to call it. Your medic is going to be roughly around this area, just like healing people over here, healing your demo. Your demo is going to be right here, spamming stickies into the choke. And your pocket scout is going to be roughly in this area around your demo as well. Try not to go too far towards cafe. This side, you are also like relatively responsible for this area, but try not to get too far disconnected from your medic. Because one, if your medic is healing you, the medic has scout speed, and it's easier for him to dodge. Another reason is that you're just more likely to be more healthier, so you won't die to the bomb, like, you know, either on accident or, you know, if you just if the roamer suddenly decides to start shooting you. If you take too much spam from like here or whatever reason. Just like try to stay here so you can be right next to the medic, shoot the roamer in the sky. If they try to double sack, you're just here for like both soldiers, whatever. You're just going to be helping the medic here. Your roamer is going to be playing around this area. You can also be playing around here. And generally what your role is as the roamer is to watch Valley, first of all. Your scout is going to be like peeking this and seeing if their combos rotated in here so you can like spot their attack. And your roamer, you're just trying to stay healthy. You're trying to have 300 health for when their sack comes in. So here's like roamer POV, right? You see their roamer come in, your first instinct, don't even worry about this guy. That's not your job. Your first instinct is to rocket jump through like choke here. You do 2 more rockets and you land on their medic. That's called a counter sack. The reason why you want to counter sack at the same time as their soldier is because you want to get on the same respawn wave as the enemy soldier. If you're too late, so let's say you spend time dilly-dallying and you like, I don't know, you try to help kill this guy, or you're just like, you took too much spam trying to fight Valley here, and now you're not healthy, you don't have crit heals, you're like 100 health, and you just know you're not going to have enough time to get in. First of all, you can calm to your pocket soldier who might be more healthy, and then he can just counter sack. But yeah, so it's like, okay, so what happens if you're too late? Most of the time, if you're like 1 respawn wave behind, it's like not the end of the world, and they're probably not going to have enough time to take advantage of it. But if you, let's say you just kind of, they spawn, they sack, they kill them, they spawn, and then you try to counter sack after that. If you try to counter sack now, you're just gonna be like dead, and now it's a 6v5 while you're defending. And now what you've created is a situation for your team where it's much harder to like hold on to this Uber, and your combo is just gonna feel a lot more pressure, and there's a higher risk of getting forced. So if you die at the same time as their roamer, then you spawn at the same time, and now you just kind of reset. And that's assuming nothing happens. Chances are, an amateur, either you're gonna get the good sack, the good counter sack off, or they get a really good sack and your team doesn't kill the roamer on time, and then your medic gets forced, and now there's an imbalance in the game, and that's when like they start pushing. So yeah. So when your roamer counter sacks, I guess this is speaking to the combo and the flank scout. The flank scout, if your roamer like wants to go valley to sack, if he wants to like jump here, jump there, or like jump here, jump there, the flank scout can like support him here. And what the combo is doing is they are coming forward off of plat, and they're trying to get a little more aggressive to just to get some damage off while their player is sacking. So this is like just how sacks go. It's you're just playing for pressure.